For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jimmy. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. So if you're watching this, hopefully this tutorial will help you to use this sheet and take your POing to the next level. Yeah. So a quick note on like online PO spreadsheets. They are really an invention of like the online era, obviously, where debate went virtual. But I feel like after coming back from online and using this spreadsheet in person, it actually adds a good touch to in-person POing too, because like it'll separate yourself a bit from the competition. Like say if they're using like a whiteboard, and it also helps you to like run a more efficient chamber. So that's always awesome. In terms of getting started right here, so first we have obviously the bit.ly. So if your last name is Beck, I'm sorry, I've already taken the Beck PO thing, but you can make a bit.ly account and basically or tiny URL, whatever floats your boat, and make like your special last name, PO, like whatever link you want. And then here we have the chamber, and then here we have like the dockets. And then this is actually for you to type in like which docket your chamber is using. So let's say we're using docket A right now. Then on the speaking pro con chart, it'll be like, it'll have the docket already preloaded for you, right? But here, if you have like B, then here like it'll already preload the docket, like, and so on and so forth. Just like make sure you don't edit these though, like because they're formulas. Yeah. All right. Next up, yeah, we have attendance here. So I always find it really helpful to see like make sure you're taking attendance. I know like it might be a little bit tedious, but especially in an online debating world where like people drop out of like Zooms all the time, it's really important to keep track of like who's in the chamber and who's not. And then this formula here actually keeps account of like the number of P's here. So it'll tell you like how many senators are actually in the room. And then based on that number, the majorities get calculated right over here, which is always awesome. All right, next up we have like the times. So most tournaments are run on Eastern time, I found. So here, like, I have it so you can manually enter the time. So let's say like the round starts at 3 p.m. Then like all these will update by their respective time zones. I don't have mountain time there, sorry. Nothing against Arizona. But next, let's say like you're running a tournament in Central time, then just like get rid of this and just manually enter. The way you can do this is just these formulas just say it'll be G10, so right here Eastern time minus 1 hour, like in the day. It's like 1/24. So you can do the same thing basically. Just if you're making it Central time, just type over it like 11 a.m. and then you can change this to like equals this plus 1/24. So yeah, you can just definitely do that. And then yeah, Pacific time, 2 hours behind Central time, but you can change this to be like a subtraction based on the Eastern time, whatever you want. Just make sure all your hours are right. Here we have the bill start, recess start, end time. Just like put them in. Nothing special here. Here we have the legislation packet. Obviously you should be getting this from the tournament invitation packet. Here we have like the link to copy a content warning form. So I feel like the content warning form is more of a recent development, especially in our activity, like our event Congress. But definitely it's really important in the sense that it's really important to be cognizant of like any competitors, like specific triggers, and making sure you avoid them. And I think as a presiding officer, your duty is kind of to facilitate the debate, right? And that includes like being cognizant of every member in the room, right? So to facilitate that exchange where competitors can kind of learn like it's an anonymous form too, like what people's triggers are, and like kind of encourage the room to avoid them. And that's really a good way of showing like leadership and also just making the chamber work the best as possible. So here you'll find the link to copy the content warning form, and then yeah, all the responses will like be accessible as soon as the competitors just click on submit, even if they submitted a blank response. So that's always, it'll be a really nice way for the competitors to just get that information. Yeah. Here we have procedures. You can just copy it down from like, tab room, SpeechWire, whatever you use. That's that. And then here we have like the standard stuff, the, timing, procedures, all that stuff, amendments, all that jazz. Leaving only in between speeches. Obviously, you can change the lingo as much as you want to apply to the present tournament you're in. Here, some tournaments use preset recency, so you can change that there. I like to always do a thing called looking away. So in the in-person debate world, it really started out as like people trying not to be like, just because you just jump up shouldn't mean you get the first speech, So, yeah, it's in the online world, I use it to like kind of take account for everyone's connection quality differences. So like just looking away from the monitor after you've called on a speech or a question for a couple seconds, and then looking back up. It's always a good way to show that you're trying to be as fair as possible in terms of, that goes. All right, here we have like questioning. So the way I run questioning might differ from like the other PO sheets you've seen in the past. So here, like, let's say we have like all of our competitors loaded here. So first, this column is like for 0 questions. And then here, this like kind of outlines like how to use this. So the 2 central keyboard shortcuts you should know are Command X and Control X. Basically, like Control X just highlights this like given cell or this area, and then it's gonna get it ready to be cut out from there essentially. And Control V, Command V basically just plops it right there. I like to use a one cell, one questioner approach instead of, I'll show you an example. Let's say ABC get the next couple of questions, right? And let's say F gets the next question. I've seen some people do it where it's like, they put F here, it'll be like a ghost F, like, because F's already been promoted to the second column. I find that this is kind of like, it creates a bit of clutter because you don't really need the information that F was already there, right? Like, so I don't like this approach. So I always try to just go with Control X and then Control V. So, and then move this up by doing Control X, Control V. So that way you're just keeping your sheet as clean as possible, and your competitors can also see recency as easily as possible. That's the way I like to do it. And yeah, so you'll find that these notes are here just to help you as a reference. Obviously, if you don't need these anymore, then you can just feel free to delete them. All right. So now they're gone. All right. Here the number of senators is calculated, or it just pulls up what you had right here. So that's why it's important to take attendance. And then next up we have the participation percentage, which is like it counts all the number of unique cells. So that's why it's more important that you use a one cell, one person approach. And then it'll calculate participation percentage for you. I feel like this is really nice because it'll tell you who's participating and who's not, and like it can help you to encourage the chamber to participate more, or congratulate the chamber if they reach 100% participation. And then here, yeah, total questions. There's actually a hidden thing right here. It just sums the number of people who have like are in each like questioning number, and then it'll just add it all up and give you total questions. Just hide. I like to hide it just to keep my sheet clean. Yeah. Here we have, so like I showed you earlier, basically the docket, like depending on what you put in this column, like right here, the docket will always change. I always like to have my bills, like bill names preloaded here, bill numbers preloaded, so that like I can be prepared for whatever docket might come up, docket nomination might come up. It's always a good touch. In prelims though, like if you have like 6 bill docket, then if you put like S2 here, and let's say like S1, S3, then like if you're POing S2, then the bills will automatically be updated as S2. If you're POing S3, then they'll be automatically updated here. So it's magic. I would say though, just try not to like mess with the formula here, because you shouldn't be typing directly into it. So right now I'm going to directly set it up so that it'll show a warning when you edit this range, so that you don't edit it accidentally. So when you make a copy of this, the protection will stay. So you'll get a warning if you try to edit this area. Just as like a warning for you not to mess with it, because you just want to be careful, right? And yeah, let's just add this to protect range. All right, cool. All right. Next up, I would say like if you have like a 2 bill docket and you really don't need a 3rd bill, you can actually use like a quick trick I like to call hiding. It's literally called hiding. So you can just hide these rows, and then yeah, it'll show up the warning because I'm trying to mess with the place, like the bill names. But you can just click on OK, and then yeah, now it's fine, right? So that's that. All right. So let me pull this back up. Cool. Alright, so I'm not sure why it's giving me 2 speeches right now, so I'm just going to quickly edit this and just delete everything here. Should give me 0. Oh, it's probably the reference error, so I'll just fix that for you, so when you copy it, it won't have that error. Alright, there we go, fantastic. Alright, so in terms of question speaking, I like to keep track of like an AFNEG order. So like here I'll put like center A, center A, center A, and then put in the speech time. It'll always have a div 0 error right here. That means like you can't divide by 0. That makes sense because like there's no speech times yet. If you put in 3 minutes, then it'll obviously those can be an average speed time. That's always great. In terms of number of speakers that have spoken, it'll always give you an updated count of how many speakers have spoken, obviously, and how many haven't. This works even if you like put in a second speech for someone, but to do that you should do like I have it set up so that if you put in a parentheses 2 directly after their name, no spaces, then it'll basically not count towards the number of speakers that have spoken. Like, it'll count still in the total speeches, but it'll help you to keep track of participation. Same goes for 3 speeches. So like if you put 3 right there, it'll highlight green, and then yeah, so like B, like, yeah. So that's how it goes. I always find that instead of like, it always helps to actually use like a pro con chart, in my opinion, because it'll help you keep track of cycles and see whether things are balanced or not. So that's always a really good touch, IMO. Yeah, I think this should really be all, I guess. But let's see. Yeah, here's the motion table from the NSDA. Honestly, I don't think people use it quite as much, so but I just leave it up there because like they can use it if they want to. That's that really. Yeah. If you have any questions on how to like use this PO sheet while you're using it, you can definitely reach out to me. Yeah. You can find me on Facebook. The name is Jimmy Beck. Yeah, just reach out and then I can definitely answer any questions you have. Hope this helps and hope you kill it next season or this season maybe as a presiding officer. So best of luck. Hope this tutorial was helpful.